With Season 2 of Ginny and Georgia coming to an end in the dramatic fashion that it did, it most certainly seems as though a Season 3 story has already been set up. With Georgia being taken away by the police and it looking as though she's going to get sent down for what she did to Tom, it looks like the next season is going to be an eventful one that could also see the authorities clamping down on Ginny due to her being aware of the other crimes that have taken place. So with that, I thought I'd take a look at all that's out there, along with giving my theories and predictions for what could happen in Season 3. So let's get into it. Here is Ginny and Georgia Season 3, Everything We Know. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. The story. Georgia's story finished off with her being arrested by the police for the killing of Tom, which is something that she did when she went round to Cynthia's. This was a bit of a random move from Georgia as she didn't need to do it, but I feel she did it because she wanted to see Cynthia happy. Gabriel had been trying to get something on Georgia for the entirety of the season and he wasn't able to, so much so that by the end of the season he was packing up and was almost ready to leave. That was until Nick informed him that Georgia was by Tom's side when he died. This is what led to her being arrested at her wedding. With Gabriel also trying to get her arrested for the death of Kenny, and then also with the revelation of Anthony Green, which she was responsible for even though he's down on a missing persons list. It does make me think that all of the weight of these crimes that she has committed over the years are going to come crashing down on her, and the bottling up that she'd been doing in order to protect Ginny could be the very thing that causes her to be put in danger. Paul does have a decent set of lawyers, so he may be able to get her out of jail. But with Georgia confessing all but the murders to him when she apologized to him in the finale of Season 2, once he finds out about them, it may make him want to leave Georgia and steer away from the trouble. However, it could have a lasting effect on his career as the mayor, as when the next elections come around, the perception of being married to somebody who's murdered several people and some of them being within the town too, it could go against him, so his career could be ruined. I think Georgia will be able to get out somehow though, as I don't think they could do a whole season with her behind bars. In terms of Ginny's story, we saw a real development of her arc as the season went on, with her taking everything out on herself, not having a sense of understanding or identity when it came to one whole part of her life, her being in a relationship with Marcus, and also feeling responsible for the actions of her mother. We saw her mental state gradually start to improve with the help of others around her when she started addressing them. With Georgia being arrested though, it could mean that things may start to plummet for her. She'll most likely start being questioned about murder, death, and secrets, and it could cause her to start to feel the weight of the issues that she was battling during the first part of the season. So I think her struggle is still far from over. Along with wanting to succeed at school academically, I feel we may see an isolated Ginny, especially considering she won't be near her mother, so I think it will be an interesting journey for her. With her stating that she wanted to be friends with Marcus, I think we could see them naturally start to gravitate towards each other again, as they both do love each other, in a way that's more than friends too. Marcus was battling his own personal issues throughout the season when it came to suffering in silence with depression. But with the end of the season looking like it was being kind to him in him having his meds changed and having a support bubble around him with his family and Ginny, we could see him improve as the new season goes on. However, the one thing that could be detrimental is the struggle that Ginny is likely going to be going through, where her issues will most likely start to weigh on his mind too. The fact he knows that Georgia killed Kenny could also be something that sits on his mind and will cause him to feel the pressure of holding such a secret, especially when the police come knocking. In terms of other relationships, it seems as though Jordan and Nora will continue to be together, Zion will be in his developing relationship with Simone, Max will be with Silver, Joe may continue his fling with Cynthia, but that did certainly seem as though it was just a short thing, so we may see Joe be with Georgia if she gets out of jail and Paul leaves her due to her being a murderer. That's if Joe still has feelings for her. And I also imagine we'll see Hunter and Padma grow closer, as it seemed like there could be a romantic spark between them. The show tends to tackle issues that people face throughout multiple different times in their life, so I feel we'll also see many of the main characters battling their internal demons. One thing that I think will get the spotlight, and was something that was briefly touched upon in this season because I feel they plan on building upon it in Season 3, was Abby's eating disorder. We kept seeing signs that she had an eating disorder throughout Season 2, signs that were easy to miss when you're with the person, but because we constantly saw her doing certain things, I feel like it's something that may take a serious, dangerous, and dark turn in the new season. I'm looking forward to seeing what Season 3 is going to do to build upon Season 2 of the show, because this latest installment was very good, so Season 3 has a lot to follow on from. The release date. In terms of the release date for the show, that's something that's currently unknown, but it's unknown for a very specific reason. Season 3 of the show hasn't been confirmed to even be on the way yet. Netflix usually takes a couple of weeks to a month to give the show a green light or announce if it's going to be cancelled. This is so they can see how popular the show is, the viewing figures, and if it's caused a surge in subscribers onto the platform. With many shows being cancelled following their first or second seasons, we're just going to have to hope that this one doesn't also fall victim to the cuts that keep happening. If it does get renewed for a third season, the gap between the first and second season was quite large. It was almost 2 years. So if we take the original gap as something to expect, we may not see the third season of the show until early 2025, so we could be waiting quite some time. The show has proved to be quite popular in the 2 seasons that have been released, so that could go in its favour for not being cancelled. The cast. With there being no major deaths in the second season of the show other than Cynthia's husband Tom, I think it's safe to assume that all of the main characters will be returning. So that means we'll most likely see Ginny, Georgia, Austin, Paul, Nick, Marcus, Max, Joe, Abby, Nora, Hunter, Matt, Jordan, Max's mother Ellen, Cynthia, Zion, and I imagine we could potentially see Gil again. With the story looking to centre around Georgia being taken down, I feel we'll most probably see Gabriel again too. With flashbacks being a driving force in supporting the narrative of the show, I feel we'll most likely see Nikki Rommel as the younger version of Georgia again. As well as this, I feel we'll probably be introduced to some new cast members who will be new characters in the show too. Unfortunately for now, that's all that's known about Season 3 of the show. I'm sure more information will be released as time goes on. So, there you have it. Ginny and Georgia Season 3, everything we know. If you want to see more videos such as endings explained, theories and predictions and character breakdowns, then click on the I button. Or alternatively, you can head over to my channel where you'll find them all. If you'd like to give me a show or movie that you'd like me to review, then head over to my Twitter, @brainpilot_, and tweet me what show or movie you'd like me to review next. And finally, if you'd like to see what I rate the latest movies that don't quite make the cut to getting a dedicated video, then head over to my Letterboxd profile. It's where I rate the latest releases in real time. What do you think is going to happen next? Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.